Most people in their 60s and beyond don't realize how much their first meal of the day affects their legs. They wake up, sip their coffee, maybe nibble on some toast, or sometimes skip breakfast entirely. It feels harmless, but it's not. What you eat or don't eat within the first hour of waking up can either support your strength or slowly chip away at your ability to walk, climb stairs, or even stand up without help. As we get older, our leg muscles become more vulnerable to breakdown. You might not feel it happening. There's no warning bell. But every morning that starts without the right fuel quietly drains your strength. Legs feel heavier. Balance becomes shaky. And without realizing it, you begin to adapt to the weakness, avoiding stairs, walking less, needing assistance. But that's not the end of the story. Because your body hasn't given up. In fact, there's a small window each morning where your muscles are still listening, still able to rebuild, repair, and respond. And the solution doesn't involve expensive supplements, protein powders, or gym workouts. It starts with what's on your plate within the first 30 to 60 minutes after you wake up. Certain foods, when eaten early, can help activate muscle recovery, support nerve health, improve blood flow to your legs, and delay muscle aging by years. And you might already have some of them in your kitchen. Today, I'll walk you through 5 of the most powerful breakfast foods for adults over 60, each backed by research, and each chosen for how they support mobility, circulation, and strength. I'll also show you how to combine them, when to eat them, and how to avoid common mistakes that make mornings harder on your legs than they need to be. I've worked with older adults for over 4 decades, focusing on the intersection of nutrition, aging, and movement. And I've seen the same pattern over and over again. Strength doesn't just vanish with age. It fades with habit. A habit that repeats quietly every morning for years. But the opposite is also true. When you shift that habit, when you start your day with intention, everything changes. I've seen patients in their 70s and 80s go from limping to walking smoothly, from using a walker to climbing stairs again, from fearing the day to welcoming it. And it all started with a better breakfast routine. So if your legs feel weaker when you wake up, if your knees are stiffer, your steps are shorter, or your balance feels uncertain, don't assume it's just normal aging. Stay with me, because by the time we're done, you'll understand exactly what your legs have been missing and how to start giving it back. Let's start by looking at what happens inside your body in the early morning hours, and why those first 60 minutes matter more than you think. When you wake up, your body has been fasting for 8 to 10 hours. During that time, it pulls energy from internal reserves to keep you alive. But in older adults, the body often turns to the wrong reserve, muscle tissue, especially the large muscles in your legs. This is called a catabolic state, a muscle breakdown mode. And if it happens daily, it leads to gradual loss of mass, stability, and coordination. According to researchers at the National Institute on Aging, adults over 60 can lose up to 1/3 of their leg muscle mass in just a decade. And that's without any major disease or injury. The early signs are easy to miss. You take smaller steps. You pause before standing up. Your legs feel heavier or slower without reason. You start walking close to walls or furniture for balance. These are not random changes. They're signals. Signals that your muscle and nerve systems are running low on support. And unfortunately, the way many seniors start their mornings makes it worse. A cup of black coffee, a bowl of sugary cereal, a slice of white toast, or no food at all. These choices don't feed your muscles, they drain them. They spike your blood sugar, raise inflammation, and accelerate the very decline we're trying to stop. So what's the better option? What should you eat within the first hour to protect your legs and promote daily strength? Let's start with the first food that deserves a spot on your plate every single morning: whole eggs. Whole eggs are one of the most effective and affordable muscle protective foods available to seniors. They contain high-quality protein, essential fats, and critical micronutrients, all in one package. But the real superstar inside an egg is an amino acid called leucine. Leucine is a trigger. It tells your body to start building muscle. And here's something most people don't realize. As we age, our bodies become less responsive to leucine. That means seniors need more of it just to activate the same repair process that younger people enjoy automatically. Each whole egg delivers about 500 milligrams of leucine. Eat 2 in the morning, and you're giving your muscles a powerful push in the right direction. But it's not just the protein. The yolk, the part many people avoid, is loaded with essential resources. Is loaded, is stopping chapters and your body having close-in word of leucine. Low iron levels reduce circulation to your lower body. That's one of the reasons why so many older adults feel tingling, coldness, or numbness in their feet and calves. When you start your day with a whole egg, or 2, you're not just feeding muscle. You're supporting blood flow. You're restoring electrical signals between your nerves and your legs. And you're doing it with a food that takes minutes to prepare. Just keep it simple. Boiled, poached, or lightly scrambled is best. Avoid frying or pairing with processed meats like bacon or sausage, which add sodium and saturated fat. Now let's move to a surprising food combination that works even better when paired together: oatmeal with chia seeds. At first glance, oatmeal may not seem like a muscle-building food, but what it lacks in protein, it makes up for in blood sugar regulation. Oatmeal contains a fiber called beta-glucan, which slows down digestion and helps keep blood sugar levels stable. Why is that important? Because blood sugar crashes, not just spikes, interfere with your body's ability to absorb and use protein efficiently. That means even if you're eating well, unstable glucose can block the benefits. Now here's where chia seeds make the difference. Just 1 tablespoon of chia adds a powerful dose of magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids. These nutrients are vital for muscle contraction, hydration, and nerve health. Magnesium alone has been shown to reduce nighttime leg cramps and early morning stiffness. Chia also helps keep you hydrated. When soaked in liquid, it forms a gel that holds water and slows digestion, helping your body absorb more nutrients and stay balanced throughout the morning. It's a small change, but for many of my patients, adding chia to their oatmeal made the difference between waking up sore and waking up steady. You don't need much. 1 tablespoon stirred into warm oatmeal after cooking is enough. Some people like to add banana or blueberries on top. That's fine, especially for those who aren't sensitive to sugar. If you're managing blood sugar levels, stick to berries. They're lower in sugar and packed with anti-inflammatory compounds. Let's keep going, because there are 3 more foods that deserve a place in your morning ritual, especially if you want to stay mobile and independent after 60. Let's talk about a fruit that gets unfairly criticized: the banana. Many older adults avoid bananas because they've been told they're too sugary. But when eaten the right way and at the right time, bananas can become one of the best foods for your legs. Why? Because they're rich in potassium. This mineral plays a central role in muscle contraction, hydration, and nerve signaling. Without enough potassium, your muscles, especially the ones in your legs, are more likely to cramp, twitch, or feel unstable. A single medium banana contains around 400 milligrams of potassium, about 10% of your daily needs. And for many seniors, especially those on diuretics or certain medications, potassium levels are already lower than they should be. But bananas don't just support muscle. They also help regulate fluid balance, reduce fatigue, and prevent that heavy leg feeling that hits some people after getting out of bed. Of course, bananas aren't perfect for everyone. If you're diabetic, have chronic kidney disease, or are prone to sugar crashes, here's what I recommend. Choose a banana that's slightly underripe, yellow with a bit of green. It will contain more resistant starch, which digests slowly and helps reduce the glycemic impact. Even better, combine the banana with a source of protein or fat. For example, ragus it into your oatmeal, meaty it with Greek yogurt, and spread almond butter on it. This slows down absorption and gives your body the best of both worlds, steady energy and muscle support. And that brings us to one of my personal favorites, Greek yogurt. If you're not eating Greek yogurt regularly, you're missing one of the most powerful muscle-preserving foods for older adults. Unlike regular yogurt, Greek yogurt is strained, which makes it thicker, creamier, and nearly twice as high in protein. That protein includes two superstars, casein and leucine. Casein digests slowly, providing a steady release of amino acids throughout the morning. That's important because muscle breakdown can continue for hours after you wake up. Leucine, as we covered earlier, flips the growth switch in your muscles, especially when consumed after fasting. A typical serving, around 170 grams or 6 ounces, of plain Greek yogurt contains up to 17 grams of protein, samling probiotics that reduce inflammation and improve nutrient absorption. That last part is key. Your gut health affects your muscle health. If you can't absorb nutrients, your legs can't benefit from them. Greek yogurt helps on both fronts, muscle and digestion. Now, some people don't tolerate dairy well. In that case, look for lactose-free Greek yogurt, oat milk yogurt, and based versions with no added sugar. Just stay away from the sweetened, fruit-flavored options. Those often contain more sugar than a candy bar, and that sugar increases inflammation, exactly what we don't want. My recommendation? Have a serving of plain Greek yogurt within 30 to 60 minutes of waking. You can stir in chia seeds, top with berries, or even mix in a sprinkle of cinnamon for extra blood sugar control. It's fast, it's filling, and it's clinically effective. Now, let's look at a food that might surprise you. It's not something people associate with breakfast, but for leg strength and energy, it's one of the best things you can eat early in the day. Steamed sweet potatoes. Yes, sweet potatoes for breakfast. It may sound unusual, but for older adults, this simple food can be a game changer when eaten in the morning. Sweet potatoes are rich in complex carbohydrates, which help restore muscle glycogen, the energy your legs need to move properly after a long night of fasting. Unlike white bread or cereal, sweet potatoes release energy slowly. That means no crashes, no sudden fatigue, and no shakiness an hour later. But the real secret isn't just the potato. It's what you put on it. A small sprinkle of natural mineral salt, like Celtic or Himalayan salt, transforms sweet potato into a complete muscle-supporting meal. These natural salts contain over 80 trace minerals, including magnesium, potassium, and calcium. All three are essential for muscle contractions, nerve function, hydration, and balance. When you eat warm sweet potato with mineral salt in the morning, here's what happens. Also stabilize blood sugar. You improve electrolyte balance. You boost the risk of cramps and stiffness. Even a half portion is enough to notice a difference. It works even better if eaten 10 to 15 minutes after your first glass of water. In fact, a 2022 study from the French Institute of Mineral Nutrition found that adults over 60 who consumed potassium and magnesium-rich breakfasts had 41 balance scores and falls over 3 months when had telemed. That's the power of strategic morning eating. Now here's the good news. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start small. Add just one of these foods to your morning routine. Let it become a habit, then build from there. Because while nutrition is the foundation, it's only half of the equation. To fully support your leg muscles and keep your strength long-term, you also need to consider what you do in those first moments of your day. And that's where 5 simple, low-effort morning habits come into play. These are the same habits I've shared with patients recovering from falls, weakness, and early mobility decline. And over again, I've seen them make a difference, not over years, but within weeks. Let's start with the first habit, something so simple most people ignore it. Drink a glass of warm water with a pinch of mineral salt as soon as you wake up.